Hey, my name is Cassidy and this is my YouTube channel where I talk about my cross-stitching hobby. I go by the Cassidy Audacity here and on other social media platforms. This is my first official Flosstube video. I did a whip parade like 6 months back, and a lot of people start their floss tubes with whip parades, and that's what I tried to do, but then I just fell off the face of the YouTube world. So I'm not gonna redo a whip parade. I'm just gonna go straight into acting like I've been doing this for the last 6 months when I really haven't. I do have notes down here that I'm gonna read off of because I will forget 75% of the things that I want to talk about. So if I look down, that's what I'm doing. So there was a little intro bit in that whip parade if you want to go back and watch it. I kind of feel uncomfy talking about myself in like times I'm supposed to be talking about myself. So I wrote down a few things that I'm just going to read through really fast. I'm 32. I'm married and we are child-free by choice. I guess I am still married because I did lose my wedding ring today, so I'm kind of like freaked out about that because it's like a 100-year-old family heirloom, but hopefully it'll turn up. We have been together for 11 years and married for 6. We have 3 dogs, which one just got up, so you might hear a pitter-patter of his nails on the floor. If you watched my my whip parade, I didn't know how to edit videos or add in pictures, and I figured it out. So I will put a picture right here of my 3 dogs because they're just the cutest ever. Their names are Trine, Guts, and Winks, and they all 3 have 1 blue eye and 1 brown eye. I love manatees. I love reading, clearly. I love oddities and curiosities and true crime. I hate housework. For my job, I'm a mail carrier, and even though I'm not an artist, I help run an art gallery, a nonprofit art gallery, and so that takes up a lot of my extra time that I'm not stitching or not doing housework. And I live in a small town in southern Indiana. So a few things about my stitching that you can expect here. I stitch on modern patterns on Aida, and I use mostly DMC and Cosmo. I don't really use any of the fancy flosses. I stitch from a PDF or from PDFs, so whenever I'm showing off a pattern, I'll have to insert a picture. And it just now started raining, so if you hear that, I don't know if you can or not. I'm not very good with technology either, so like lighting and noise, it's just gonna turn out however it turns out. I'm not a stats person, so I don't track that stuff on like the Notion app or any of the other apps like Markup or whatever. I failed stats twice in college, so maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know, but if you're looking for stats, you won't really find them here. My interests are usually reflected in the patterns that I stitch, and so sometimes they're slightly adult themed, but I'll kind of put like a content warning before I show that stuff. And it's like not very much, but I do have one in this video. I probably don't stitch as much as others do, so my videos will probably be pretty short, and I'm gonna try and post once a month so that I mean, if I posted like every week or every 2 weeks, I wouldn't have enough progress really to show. So, and I don't have any before pictures. Hopefully I can start taking those so that I can show the progress in between videos. And sorry, I'm scrolling down. I'm gonna start this video with like a teeny tiny finish parade because I have some stuff that I finished recently and since and like before January. This video will be mostly the things that I got done in January, but I wanted to show off the things that I finished a little bit before January. So FFOs. FFO means fully finished object. I have 3 FFOs to share. So the first one I actually showed in the whip parade from a few months ago. And I'll put up a picture of what the pattern's supposed to look like. And here's mine. This is Golden Hour Nature Walk by Sprouting Lupine. This was stitched on 14 count Zweigart Vintage Oat. I started this in June of 2024. Gosh, that's gonna be rough saying 2024 and 2025, but anyway, I started this for Marjorie Maid's Strawberry Moon Sal, and so those right there are strawberries. I finished it July 28th and I fully finished it July 31st, so that's been a while. But I did this pattern because the art gallery that I am a part of, the art exhibitions kind of change every month or month and a half, and so it was a nature themed one, so I did this pattern also for that. Okay, so the next one I don't have in my possession. It's called Yule Bat by Broomsticks and Bobbins, and this is what it's supposed to look like. And this is what mine looks like. I finished it as an ornament. I did this for a gift swap in a Stitchy Discord that I'm a part of, run by BadStitch. And so this was done on 14 count Aida. This was one of my oldest whips. So that was kind of cool to finish that and gift it to someone. I started it in January of 2023 and then finished and fully finished it on December 3rd of 2024. The next finish I have is, I'm not going to put a picture because mine looks the same. Maybe I will. I don't know. It's a mini Georgia O'Keeffe by the Stitch Patterns on Etsy. I couldn't find a frame that really fit it very well, so I just put it in a square one because I really didn't super care. This is, I gotta find where I'm at. This is a 16 count white Aida. I started this on October 30th, 2024, finished December 25th on Christmas, 2024, and then I fully finished it January 12th of 2025, and this was for an abstract themed art exhibition. So, next section is finishes, and this is stuff that hasn't been fully finished. Let me get my trusty, what is this thing called? Clipboard. I have 4 finishes. First one, oh, content warning, no, not spoiler, content warning for the adult themes. This is I Heard You Like Magic by Spooky Stitching. Sorry, I'm new at this. If I didn't add a picture of what it was supposed to be before, I'll add it now, but I changed out some colors so that it looked back up. This is a lyric from a Chapel Roan song called Red Wine Supernova, and so I changed some colors from the original called for to look more like the colors that was in the album artwork. So I'll put up a picture of the album artwork too, but this is stitched on an 18 count Dying for Sass on Etsy. I started July 22nd of 2024 and finished October 18th of 2024. And of course my husband said it's hard to read, but I don't care because I really love it. And if you, so the whole lyric is, I heard you like magic, I got a wand and a rabbit. So if you don't know what those are, maybe you should look into it and buy it. Anyway, so is there anything else I wanted to say about this one? I don't think so. I still have the other half of this fabric to do something on. Maybe I'll do something. There's another pattern that, well, I'll share it later. Okay. So my next finish is, I'll put up a picture of it here. It's by BadStitch and it's called Sledding Snowman. And this is my finish. This is on a printed Aida from Amazon, 14 count. I left some of the, I left all of the snowflakes and stuff out because I'm kind of lazy. But I started this in and finished this in December. I finished it on December 21st of 2024. Oh, and this is a freebie. I think it's on her Ko-Fi, but I'm part of her Patreon, so a lot of her freebies are on there, and I think it's still available. Don't quote me. I have a terrible memory, and I don't keep track. Okay, my next finish is called Fool for You by Thread Poetic. I'll pop a picture. And here is my finish. My husband said this is also hard to read, but I'll get into why I chose this in a second. This is 16 count white Aida using a variegated Cosmo thread. I started this December question mark is what I have on my notes in 2024, finished January 31st of 2025. I picked this back up because the Pick-a-Whip prompt for January from Marjorie Maid was the whip you're most excited about. So I was most excited about this one because I recently started it. But then I finished it on the 31st, so it ended up counting for the second prompt, which was to get in a quick finish to start the year off. So as I said before, I'm a mail carrier, so that's why I was drawn to this, but also I was drawn to this because it was originally made for a song from a band that I don't listen to, but earlier in 2024, the band Royal Otis came out with a Cranberries cover, and this is the lyric from that song, and I listened to that song like over and over and over again for months. And so the video for this cover, he was wearing a bunch of, well, he was wearing like a jacket, but it was a bunch of different flannels all together. So this floss really reminded me of what he was wearing, which is why I chose it. So even though it didn't, it's not very readable, I don't care. Okay. So that is it for finishes. And next I will go through the starts for January. I have 2 of them. So I started the Briar by Sprouting Lupine. This is how far I got. This is 18 count Rustico Aida. And I started this on January 19th. So another whip game that I'm doing besides Pick-a-Whip is a D&D themed game from I'm part of a Discord from the designer Lil Stabbies, and they came up with a D&D. I'll put up pictures here of kind of the premise of it. You can really make your own rules and stuff, but basically you have 20 different tasks and you roll a 20-sided die, and then you have to finish that task in order to roll for damage to then kill the monster. So my task is getting 3 Stitchy days in during that next week, and then I'll just roll every week. I won't roll whenever I get 3 days in, just so I have more time to work on other stuff. So this was the whip that I rolled for on week 4. I don't have 20 whips, so I included new starts into some of the slots, and so I had rolled for a new start during week 4. Okay, my next one's big. Well, the fabric is, at least. My next one is Butterfly Bouquet, also by Sprouting Lupine. Let me see. My dog's doing something weird. Okay. That's how far I got. I'm doing this on a 20 count Aida, the first time I'm using 20 count, from Fiber on a Whim. I am trying 20 count Aida as a recommendation from Cam the Stitcher, and I think that this is the piece of fabric that they did, what's it called, the vanity sampler on, if I remember correctly. I chose 2 different ones and ordered it, and I think that's the one. Anyway, so it's teeny tiny stitches. I'm loving it, actually. I didn't think I would, but I love using 1 strand instead of 2 since it's so small. Okay. I started that on January 31st. Okay, on to my whips. So, get my clipboard here. Neon Cicada by BadStitch is the next one. So I'll put a picture of what it's supposed to look like. And then this is mine. This is a 16 count Aida by Oblong Meow called P.I.N.K. And I started this in May 15th of 2024, and I rolled for it in the Dungeons in Progress, I think is called, for week 1 and week 2. So my dog sneezed over there. I don't think that's available. It might be. This was a Patreon pattern from a few months ago. Okay, my next whip is Welcoming Committee by Tuscan Cardinal. This was from the Creepy Cross Stitch book that I, of course, forgot to bring over here. So I'll just insert a picture of the pattern. And then this is how far I am. This is one of my oldest whips. I started this on October 1st in 2022. And so I rolled for this in week 3 of January and got some progress in. I haven't picked this up or touched this since 2022 because it's on 14 count and I wasn't really feeling 14 count anymore, but it'll be nice to have this done. Okay, so that's it for projects that I worked on. I'll go into plans a little bit. So I'm gonna keep on with the Dungeons in Progress thing. I rolled for the first week of February. I rolled the same number that welcoming committee was, so I'll be working on that again this week. And then the February Pick-a-Whip prompts, hosted by Marjorie Maid, is hearts, birds, or flowers for one of the prompts. So I'll just continue working on Butterfly Bouquet because I'm having a lot of fun on that one. So kind of worked out. And then for the Super Bowl, I don't know if the Superb Owl Sal is still a thing. I think that was from last year. I don't know if anyone's running a Sal like that this year, but I kind of thought it would be fun to have a new start on Super Bowl, even though we don't watch football or anything. But I am going to start Up All Night by the Tiny Modernist, pattern with an owl. And I guess this also counts as Stitchy Kindness because I won this in a giveaway from Michelle from Bendy Stitchy, her Flosstube. I had never entered a giveaway there because I wasn't super psyched about in the patterns, and I'd rather someone who really loved the patterns get it. And so this is the first and only one I had entered, and I won. So that was pretty lucky. So I would like to start this on the Superb Owl. And I don't know if it's the day before Super Bowl or the actual Super Bowl on when they had that Sal, but maybe I'll start it on the day before. Okay. Oh, also I need to finish the Briar by Sprouting Lupine because I am doing that pattern for a fantasy themed art exhibition in March. So I'll need to finish that by the end of this month and get it fully finished. So the next section would be haul. I'm not going to do a normal haul sorry if you can hear my dog. I'm not going to do a normal haul section. I'm going to call it pattern hoard corner. I don't know. So I'm just going to show you a bunch of patterns that I have received through the Patreons that I'm a part of or that I have just bought myself because we all have a pattern hoard, right? And we should all be influenced to add to that pattern hoard. We shouldn't be, but we should add to it. Okay, so the first, and I'll just put a picture of each one. One of the Patreons that I'm a part of is the Stitch Crypt. So the pattern for February is called Pentacle Snake. So I have this one. And then another Patreon that I'm a part of is BadStitch Patreon. And so the Stitch Crypt is a new pattern on the 1st of every month, and then BadStitch is a new pattern on the 15th of every month. So this pattern for BadStitch will be available until the 15th, and it's called Froggy Magic. Another pattern that I bought is Unicorn Garden from Sprouting Lupine. This was another contender for the fantasy themed art exhibition, but I figured that would take me way too long. Another pattern that I got is a freebie from the Stitch Crypt. They celebrated 3 years of their shop being open, so they have this freebie available called Frog's Breath. Another freebie that I acquired is from the Steady Thread. You might have seen some other people doing their Blackwork Sal for this year. And they came out with a mini version, so I think I'll still collect all of the fills it comes out every week, I think. But this one is a much smaller one. It's not 52 for each week of the year. So I'll do that sometime, but I'm still collecting all of and I'll choose my favorite fills to do. But the bird scissors are just so cute. Another freebie that I acquired is from Sprouting Lupine. It was in their newsletter, and it's called Lover's Stroll Nature Walk. So it's kind of like the last addition to their Nature Walk series, which I absolutely love. I want to try and do almost all of them, but will I get to it? Probably not. Another is a freebie from Velvet Pony. They go by Pony Stitches on Instagram, and this is a Valentine's themed one. It's called Capybara, and I think you can get it if you are a free subscriber to their Patreon. And then the last one, I'm not doing the salve from Need-A-Lot called Secret Grove, but I bought it so I get all of the updates. Maybe I'll do it in the future. I don't know. I have a really bad track record with salves, so I buy them and I'm excited for, you know, the new drops, but it's just I think someone said a sal could be a start along, a stitch along, or a stash along, and I'm the stash along person. So that's all I have. This video is like really short, but maybe it's a nice break from the super long ones. I don't know. I watch Flosstubes from people that do patterns that I would probably never do, because never say never, I suppose. But so I hope you enjoyed this video, even though I don't do a lot of the patterns that other people do. But yeah, I'll try and post at least once a month, because I feel like sometimes it's hard to be motivated to stitch. So in my brain, it's like, maybe if I know that I need to show progress, then I'll actually have progress, and so I'll stitch. But the whip games have really been helping with that, and getting the 3 stitchy days in for the Dungeons and Progress one. So but yeah, that's it for me. I hope you guys have a good February, and you take care of yourself and your mental health, and I hope you get a lot of good stitchy time in. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time.